Uh-oh. Well, yeah, we're, we're 12 of 15. We had. Oh, I thought you told me to shut up. We're 12 of 15. We had like one partial cash, I guess you'd call it. Maybe, maybe two. 12 of 15 with.
Testing, 1, 2, testing.
I gotta take a shit. I'm good. Fine. Oh my god. Oh shit, you're like my buddy Tuck. It's crazy. 12 and 15 with one partial credit, and you could say one cash. We didn't cash because of Trae Young. 12 for 15. We're 12 wins out of 15 slates with one partial cash, and one of the losses we have was because of the Trae Young ankle, but I don't think we would have cashed anyways. That's my honest. Did you tweet? What? What? Oh, I'm gonna shit. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 That's a la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. That's a lot. So everybody can hear me talking about nonsense and they can't hear anything you're saying. Whatever. My phone's on 10%, so if it dies, then I don't know what. I can't plug it in. We better hurry up. My phone's gonna die. Yeah, guys.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to this 9 games Wednesday slate breakdown. We're going to be breaking down our favorite cash plays, GPP plays, and overall injury news for the slate. We're going to be going over first. I wanted to bring up our website. First of all, because we've been getting some questions about where our memberships are located, where to view the lineups. If you guys haven't signed up yet, highly recommend it. We are 12 and 15 to start this season. For NBA specific, it's pretty straightforward here on the homepage. You go to memberships. you buy your membership. We have a lot of membership options. $250 for the day. Correct me if I'm wrong, TJ. We have $10 for a week and then $25 for the month. So if you guys want to sign up for that package, go to memberships. It obviously does not look like this because I have access to my own website, but it will have all the membership options up on there. And then you go to the NBA breakdown room, and that's where you will find all the lineups. So, for instance, keep scrolling. These lineups obviously don't mean anything to you, but that's where you'll find everything. So, if that's confusing to you guys, I hopefully I clarified that, and hopefully it's easy to find now. So, TJ, do you want to go ahead and dive into the slate? Cash plays. Do you want to talk about that first, or do you want me to go ahead and take that over? Actually, you know what? Let's go over the injury news first.
Okay, yeah.
Late breaking.
Apologize. Hold on. First off, I want to apologize for Matt's attire. If I knew he was wearing a sleeveless shirt, I wouldn't be doing the stream right now. So, sorry about that. But Matt, go ahead.
Oh, come on. It's a sleeveless shirt. Come on. Clippers came out with Kawhi Leonard. He's being rolled out for load management.
Load management.
Yeah, I was about to take the stream off for that same reason. So, Kawhi Leonard being ruled out, obviously that's going to affect the slate the most. The second injury news is coming out of the Pacers game. Miles Turner being ruled out and Sabonis being ruled in. Jeremy Lamb being ruled out as well. So, obviously with the usage hog of Jeremy Lamb being ruled out and Turner, that's going to affect the Pacers. If we keep scrolling here, I don't know if there's any really major slate-breaking injury news. Detroit, obviously, with everybody being out. Derrick Rose, Tim Frazier still being out.
D'Lo out.
Oh, yeah, D'Lo, but I was taking a look at the Warriors, and they're all priced accordingly. So, not too many surprises there. Also the injury news from the Rockets. Gordon being ruled out, that's a trap play for a lot of people because he is now the usage hog, as we know. It did increase a little bit of some other players according to their usage anyway. So we'll go over that in just a second. But I want to start here with the Clippers. TJ, who are your favorite plays from the Clippers and why?
Lou. Give me all the Lou. Obviously, as Matt just touched on, Kawhi's out for his load management again. I think it's the second time this week or in the last second game in the last 3. I don't even know, but it's the second nationally televised game. I'm pretty sure he's sitting out. So I know there's a bunch of people on Twitter freaking out about Kawhi sitting once again. But I mean, this is what Toronto did with him, and they won a championship. So it seems to me that people know what they're doing when it comes to Kawhi and managing his minutes. So if we want to touch base real quick on Lou. Lou right now with Kawhi off the court posts a 34.6% usage rate and averages 1.17 fantasy points per minute. He's only $6,500. He's going to be getting at least 33 minutes tonight. Playing Milwaukee in one of the highest over-unders. I mean, he's so cheap. You just got to lock him in there for a cash play. And staying with this game, another guy that we actually like is Montrezl Harrell. Only 6,200, probably going to see around 30 minutes. Averages 1.3 fantasy points a minute, a 30% usage rate. So those are the two guys that I'm really looking at to kind of pick up the slack for Kawhi. And then, Matt, I don't know if you wanted to touch on one other guy from the Clippers, but for me, those are guys that I would like to see in our lineup tonight.
The biggest increased boost, if we're looking at straight-up usage, is going to come from Lou Will and Montrezl Harrell. Obviously, they're the focal point of the offense. When Kawhi's off the court. They were like that for the Clippers last season. So if you just think about the Clippers last season without anybody, it was them maintaining the bulk of the offense. I was looking at Pat Bev. He's not intriguing at 4.9. Obviously not a productive player, fantasy points per minute. Shamet, not there as well. Although he's playing 32 minutes at 3.9, I can see how that can be intriguing. Zubac actually got a decent increased boost. I can see why, because he's more of an offensive player. He gets a majority of his points not off rebounds, but off his scoring, which is, kind of interesting if you're taking Kawhi off the court. So Zubac could definitely be an interesting GPP play. I would not play him at 19 minutes in any cash builds whatsoever. I know that when Kawhi was out the first time, or two times or whatever, however many times he's been off the court. We played Zubac in Showdown, and he actually did fairly well for us, and ended up, I think we ended up taking, we ended up cashing GPPs and double ups. So Zubac is definitely a good play for GPPs. I wouldn't, anybody outside of Green, Lou Will, and maybe Harrell, I wouldn't even look at, just because they will be the offense, those three. And JaMychal Green at 26 minutes, 3.9 is just way too cheap for me.
Yeah.
I think the second most obvious, we were just talking about this actually. So Indiana is very, very interesting as far as their injuries. So do you want to go ahead and start off by talking about Indiana and who gets the biggest increases?
Yeah. So obviously, I think that my favorite guy so far on DFS this year has probably been Malcolm Brogdon. He's been undervalued the whole entire year so far. I'm pretty sure he got up to like 8.8K at one point, maybe a couple games ago, but he's back down to 8.1. There's no Turner, there's no Jeremy Lamb. So although Malcolm Brogdon doesn't necessarily pop on the sheet that Matt and I have, the sample size is really minimal because Lamb hasn't been out that much. So Malcolm Brogdon is definitely somebody that we are looking at tonight. The other guy is obviously going to be Goga. Goga is projected at 25 minutes tonight at $4,200. He has a 1.12 fantasy point per minute. He actually carries a 20% usage rate when he's on the court. He's actually a 7 on our sheet, which is really high. So I was telling Matt that I think we need Goga tonight. Depending on who else we're going to want to try and pair, if we want to go with some studs tonight, which obviously we're going to. But right now, for me, it looks like from this Pacers team, obviously TJ Warren, too, is a great play at 5,800, projected 35 minutes. So there's tons of value in that game. We're going to have to break it down a little bit more, but you can't go wrong with Brogdon, Warren, or Goga tonight.
Yeah, I think when you look at this Pacers team, you're just going to have to take a couple stabs. Brogdon's going to be the obvious one. I think he's going to carry the most ownership. So for cash games, we just got a notification that Trae Young won't have minute restrictions, so that's very interesting. We'll talk about him in just a second. You're going to take a couple stabs here at probably somebody like Aaron Holiday or Justin Holiday. Justin's actually projected at 25 minutes, Aaron Holiday 21. We were looking at our sheet here, and they actually they're near the top here at their sheet, 6.7 and 6.2. So definitely intriguing plays, especially with Lamb out. They're obviously going to be filling in that guard position. I see them in the tight rotation at guard position tonight. And TJ Warren, as TJ was mentioning, is getting the biggest usage increase. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of these guys gets into our cash bill. I think we're going to lean towards Goga and Brogdon as our locks for the cash if we assume there's no more injuries, but that's never guaranteed.
Goga for sure, and then I think we're kind of Brogdon probably in there too.
I think Brogdon just because of ownership and definitely production. I mean, 8.1. He's just not. He's going to get that price increase. I think pretty soon.
Right. I have one more cash game play that I want to talk about.
Sure.
Karl Anthony Towns obviously on the slate tonight. We're unaware if Jeff Teague's going to be playing. Shabazz Napier, I'm pretty sure got ruled out or he's doubtful, so I don't expect him to play tonight. Cat returning, 2-game suspension, obviously, for that fight with Embiid. Playing Grizzlies, who rank the 4th in pace right now. 20th in overall defense efficiency against centers. Cat is averaging 1.88 fantasy points per minute right now, posting a 29, almost a 30% usage rate and a 20% rebound rate. He's been a monster in games that he's played, obviously. He's had plenty of time to rest. He's only 10K. So I hope that Matt agrees with me, but I want to get Towns in there, obviously, into our cash bills.
Yeah, I think Towns being at 10K, I don't really see why he's not in the 11s yet. Honestly, I think he's going to be one of the highest priced players as the season goes on. I think the only reason that he got priced down, or even the reason he just didn't move at all is because he got suspended. You'll see players coming off of a big time from injury or just being suspended. If they come back, they're usually priced lower than what they should be. And Karl Anthony Towns is definitely underpriced at 10K. He's also... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Drummond's a good play against the Knicks, 36 minutes. I mean, but he's 10.8. Give me the $800 and give me Towns.
And
Drummond could easily outperform Towns tonight, but I'll take the $800 savings with a guy that I think, like pound for pound, skill for skill, is obviously better than Drummond. So
right. And also, I think Teague is still questionable, is he not?
yeah, so if Teague's out, then that obviously opens up a lot of spots
Yeah, he's
for
sick.
guard. I will not have Andrew Wiggins in my lineup. You will not allow that, and we will not have Andrew Wiggins in our lineup. I hate Andrew Wiggins. You hate Andrew Wiggins. So I could care less. Andrew Wiggins is 48 minutes. That guy's garbage.
Hold on, what's his price tag? 6.6? That's way too high. Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
He could be projected 40 minutes at 3K, and he still wouldn't have value.
No, I agree with you. I don't know what his deal is. He didn't even have that bad of a year last year. I think he got even worse. Just like he shoots too many shots.
Guys, one guy to keep an eye on if Teague is ruled out, and if I'm pretty sure Shabazz is, like I said, doubtful, or he might get ruled out. I'm pretty sure he's doubtful right now. Okay, so I don't know if it's definite. Yeah, but he's probably not gonna play. Jarrett Culliver at 3.2K.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually gotten 26 and 24 minutes in his last 2 games. He played against Milwaukee. He didn't play as well, but against Washington, he had 29 fantasy points. He posted a 37% usage rate in that game as well. So just keep an eye on that. Jarrett Culliver at 3.2K. It's definitely going to be if you can plug him in if he gets a minute bump. I'm pretty sure right now he's predicted at 20 minutes. If Teague's out, he might even start. So keep your eye on him because if he's out, you can take him in Towns and just be on your way.
Yeah. As far as the Timberwolves go, I don't think there's any more obvious play than Towns. And your boy Measy actually tagged Culver as a good play, as a core play.
Confirms it. Means he's the man.
One team I want to talk about now is the Rockets because with Aaron Gordon being ruled out, obviously it's going to raise some eyebrows. I want to talk about them just because I think that tends to be an overreaction, and quite frankly, I think a lot of these players are good fades for us. Just because he doesn't really change the picture in general. I think the only player that's worth considering is Russell Westbrook. But it's kind of funny when I was looking at his stats, he actually does worse with Gordon off the court. I don't know if that's because he's taking more stupid shots or if that's because his assists aren't going up with Gordon off the court. I don't know what the deal is, but he literally, I'm going to run the numbers for you guys real quick. If you take Gordon off the court.
Because he doesn't keep it simple, stupid.
What's that?
Keep it simple, stupid? Michael Scott?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was wondering where you got that from.
Don't know an Office reference.
1.23 fantasy points per minute, and he takes a usage decrease of 5.3% and 0.31% or fantasy points. So, I mean, Russell Westbrook probably is a good GPP play, but I wouldn't consider anybody else on that team. The only other person I saw took a good increase is probably House. House just gets a little bit more usage, but he's still only getting 32 minutes. I mean, 5.1. There's better options on the slate.
When it comes to those Rockets, besides Westbrook and Harden, you're shooting darts.
Yeah.
Between Daniel House, PJ Tucker. I mean, Matt, you mentioned Austin Rivers last night. And he actually did a lot better than I thought.
Did he? I didn't even pay attention to that.
He didn't do anything. I think he might add 16 points. He didn't create no points, drafting points. But between PJ Tucker, Capella, not even Capella, Daniel House, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, and I guess you throw Austin Rivers in there. It's just like it's a complete crapshoot. Like
it's gonna be like that all year.
Eric Gordon was 4K. I think it was. Was it last? Did Houston play last night or 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago, and he got 24 DK points, and that was when Westbrook sat. So, I mean, it's a complete crapshoot between those guys. The only guys I feel like I'm ever going to want to take from Houston going forward until we see more from another one of those guys is definitely just going to be Harden or Westbrook. I mean, unless Capella's in a smash spot against a team that's terrible against opposing defenses, then yeah, I can see Capella. But besides Westbrook and Harden, I don't see any usage outside, like cash game wise, for anybody in Houston.
As far as your studs go, it's going to be Cat. We haven't talked about any studs, right?
What about your guy Trae Young? Yeah, we
talked
about Cat.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and touch base on Trae Young.
I know Lou isn't salary-wise a stud, but tonight, I mean, 33 minutes in Milwaukee and a pretty high over/under. He's probably the chuckiest guy in the slate. So I'm talking like as if it's some fantastic play. But I mean, I would consider Lou a stud tonight, even though his price tag doesn't, necessarily say that.
So yeah, as far as studs go, I'm just talking about salary. So if I just want to go down the list here, Giannis 11.7. He finally got that point increase, or he got that price increase. Is he worth touching against the Clippers with the highest over under?
Probably.
I mean he's just safe at this point, right?
Who the hell is going to cover him?
Nobody. Literally
Zubac,
nobody.
Are they going to give Zubac those kind of minutes? I feel like he gets in foul trouble easily. The Clippers love to play small. I mean, is Trez going to cover him? No, Giannis is a freak, and he's just uncoverable. I mean, we had Giannis last game, and what did he get us? He hit 5 times value. I think he ended with like 61 fantasy points, and it sucked because it was a blowout. He easily could have went for 7.
Oh, yeah, and I almost took down GPP that night.
Yeah.
It was frustrating.
Yeah. And he was close to a triple-double. He didn't play at the end of the fourth, so, I mean, I don't think it's going to be necessarily a blowout tonight. But I would like Giannis. Yeah, he played 27 minutes against the Timberwolves and had 58 fantasy points. So, I mean, he doesn't play as much minutes as some of the other superstars. And Milwaukee is a very good team that has other guys that can get the job done, like Middleton and Bledsoe's actually been. So Giannis tonight for cash? No. GPP? Sure. If I'm going another stud, I think it's going to be Trae Young.
Yeah, I was about to. Let's go ahead and touch base on Trae Young because I know I went over this in the last video I posted. Thanks for the support, by the way, guys. With that, I got the most views I had in the video so far. So Trae Young, if I can remember, it was about 1.8 fantasy points per minute when he does not have Collins on the court.
Okay? 1.94.
9.4. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the most on the entire slate. That's more than Giannis. That's more than Harden. That's more than Drummond. That is the most. And since he's not being restricted, I mentioned in my video last time that he was a good GPP play just because of his injury status. But it's clear that he can go tonight. It was clear he could go last night against the Spurs. He was putting the jukes on Aldridge. I don't know if you saw that video.
Yeah. Real quick, Matt's a Spurs fan, so if anybody actually has the video of Trae Young putting Aldridge in an absolute...
All right, and that's the end of the stream, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Please direct it to our Twitter and just say Trae Young just absolutely putting Aldridge in a blender. It was phenomenal. It was absolutely amazing.
My question is, why was Aldridge even out there? That was...
You figure, why not just back off?
Yeah, just let him take the shot at that point.
Oh, it was so bad. And then the look past Bembre to the fucking slam. It's like, this kid's special, man. He is special. He's fucking good.
Yeah, no, he is really good. And I think even more so against Chicago tonight. I think 111 is actually a little conservative. I'd say they go over that. The way Trae Young's been scoring.
He posted a 44% usage rate in that game last night against the Spurs. He's not another minute restriction. I mean, Matt and I had the conversation last night if we wanted Trae Young or Brogdon as our cash play, but we were a little iffy because of the ankle. He played 30 minutes.
Strictly because of ownership. That was the only reason we took Brogdon.
Yeah, he shot 10 of 23. He had 13 dimes, so he actually recorded his first double-double of the year. Kid's special, man. He's good. I mean, if we can somehow try and figure out a way to get Cat, Trae, Lou, and Brogdon, I mean, I'm 100% all for that, but yeah. I don't know if that's people.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Trae Young's actually one of my favorite players to play this year, so far anyway. I don't really see him at 9.1K. I don't see that being reasonable. I think, honestly, if he gets up near Harden range by the end of the season, I would not be surprised the way that his usage is playing out. Dude, if he's getting 44% usage, are you kidding? I'm just saying.
Yeah. Collins, yeah, maybe while Collins is suspended, but when Collins is back.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, that's 25 more games, so we get to see him ball for 25 more games without Collins. So, as far as cash plays, I think we touched base on all. Do you have any other ones that you want to talk about?
No, I have none for these people.
Okay. GPP. I wanna talk about GPP real quick because the other night I was all over the Warriors. Go ahead. What'd you say?
You gonna stack the Warriors again?
I'm not gonna stack the Warriors again. I was all over the Warriors just because they were so underpriced. Usually with teams that are having these last-minute injury updates, all the players are underpriced. Well, tonight that's going to be the Clippers. I'm not saying throw Lou Will, Harrell, and the obvious plays we just said into your GPP lineup. I'm saying play these low studs. Beverly, 4.9, 31 minutes, could easily go off. Shamit, obviously, 3.9, 32 minutes, great GPP play. Harkless even at 3.2, 23 minutes. All these guys are very underpriced. Patterson at 26 minutes, 3.1. Honestly, could throw any one of these guys into our cash lineup and be fine with it. I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but I wouldn't be, against that. So GPP, I'm stacking the Clippers all night. That's going to be my only stack. Ooh, the last game's at 10, so I'll actually be able to go to sleep on time tonight. Clippers.
Don't worry, I'll be up till 1:30.
Yeah. Watch, this game's going to go to overtime, too. This game is the game I'm stacking. I'm stacking those low-end guys, and I'm pairing them with somebody like the cash plays we just talked about, Cat. I'm stacking them with somebody like Brogdon in the other games, and I'm getting all those low-end studs in there that have really good potential to go off, especially in this high over/under game. Just keep in mind that these Clippers are not going to be high owned. If you think they're going to be high owned, then you're crazy. They're just not going to be. That's where the price, the biggest price per dollar value is. It's in that Clipper game, and I believe TJ just went offline here. 1 second. And also, guys, if you guys want to ask any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask in the chat. I know we had technical difficulties last time with the mic not working. I don't know why TJ would hang up on me like that. It's kind of rude. All right, well, I'll wait till he connects, guys. Not that big of a deal. I'll finish up the stream here. We're getting towards the end anyway. So, to recap, my favorite GPP stack is the Clippers, just because of their point per dollar value. When you look up the entire team, obviously those guys have to contribute. And, it looks like his phone died, actually, so that's kind of funny. He's actually in the chat. So I saw a question come in here. What expensive players do you guys think are the best GPP plays? TJ just put Embiid. I don't necessarily disagree with that. Embiid's definitely going to be low on. Let me go ahead and take a look at the top here. If you look at salary. So we mentioned Giannis. Giannis, I don't think is going to be as low owned as somebody like Embiid. James Harden. Like I said, the overreaction is going to come from the Rockets. James Harden and Westbrook are going to carry some decent ownership, and that goes in GPPs as well. I think if you're going to take somebody that's very, very low percentage-wise, it's going to be Embiid versus the Jazz for sure. Obviously, people are going to be scared away from Gobert being in that game. It's just a low-pace, low offensive output game for the Jazz. 9.5, honestly, if he's playing any other team, I would be all in on Embiid. That's a really good price tag for him. Trae Young, as you know, might make into our cash lineup. I would consider putting him in GPPs as well. His projected ownership is not that high as well. So, to answer your question, our favorite guys are going to be Embiid, Trae Young, and even Antetokounmpo and some of these other cash tournaments, even though he's going to be the highest projected ownership. Good timing.
Hi.
Hey, what's up? You plug it in?
We still streaming?
Yeah.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. My phone died. I got to keep it down here. I was just following along the stream on the tube. Were you just touching base on the Philly-Utah game for GPP?
Yes. So I was saying that the low over-under for the Jazz are obviously going to scare people away from Embiid. 9.5. Obviously, his production is largely based on rebounds and points. So if he gets to that rebound floor, I don't see a reason why he wouldn't hit value at 9.5 for sure.
Yeah, in a 72-minute sample size for Embiid, he's averaging 1.81 fantasy point per minute, and that is currently with who's out for them? They don't have anybody out, right?
For Philly?
Yeah, Milton's out. So Embiid is a 1.81 fantasy point per minute. Like I said, 33% usage rate. He's a monster. I know he's going up against Gobert, but he's only a 9,500 tag. If I do play a GPP tonight, I'm definitely going to go Embiid, Horford, Richardson, come back with Donovan Mitchell and maybe the Bogdanovich from Utah, who's been sneaky good so far this year for them. I feel like he's kind of even replaced Ingles as that shooting guard that they need. So I definitely like that stack tonight for a GPP. I think that all those guys are going to be very low on.
So just for you guys who are completely new to GPPs, one thing we do in all sports is we look at the best kind of stacks for each sport. For baseball, obviously you stack an entire team. For football, you're going to stack wide receiver QBs. Well, for basketball, it's a little different because you don't necessarily stack an entire team. You grab as much from your value guys, and then you stack the rest on the team. So you want to put these core players that we were talking about throughout the stream in your core lineup for GPPs. Somebody like Cat, somebody like Brogdon, and then pair them with players that we were just talking about. So people from the Utah game, people from the Clippers game, and that's how you maximize your upside for GPPs. So to take, for instance, the other night, I played a whole bunch of value guys from our initial cash lineup, and then I played the rest Warriors. And luckily, enough of those Warriors hit value and then some that I was able to, I think I placed like 13 out of 700 and something people. If I had played a low-end GPP or a smaller one, I would probably have taken it down. But we're suggesting that some of the best GPP lineups you're going to see tonight are going to come from Utah, and they're going to come from the Clippers. Strictly because of ownership too. So obviously you want to stay away from the high ownership guys.
Yeah, I feel like everybody gets scared away by over-unders when it comes to GPPs, and I understand that maybe that game less appealing to attack, but you also have to take into consideration, like, okay, if the over-under for Utah and Philly, and Utah has the reputation to be a defensive team, obviously, which they are. But a game like that is a game that you want to try and attack for GPPs because some of those guys are going to be so low owned and they're still a good value. Like Josh Richardson, I mean, he isn't a great fantasy point per minute guy, but he's playing 35 minutes with guys like Embiid and Ben Simmons who are going to give him open shots. So if he can hit shots at 4.4K, he can easily have a big night. You've seen Al Horford so far this year be an absolute monster, especially in Embiid's absence. He's been fantastic. Bogdanovich, like I mentioned, Mitchell has just been great so far this year. Mike Conley's finally starting to shoot the ball better, so I personally like attacking that game. Watch, it's going to be like 75-76 now that I say that. But why not take a stab with guys like that are all going to probably be 10% less owned, and some of them even be like 3% owned.
Yeah.
And then you can put some of those chalky guys in with, like what Matt said, you can throw in Trae Young, you can throw in Goga, and you can get some of those guys that you feel confident with putting in your cash lineup because not only they're going to be chalky, but because of injuries, they're going to perform. You add those with the low-end guys that are kind of in a weird spot but could hit if they play well, low ownership, and then boom, you win all the monies.
And then if you take somebody like the Rockets on the flip side, right? They're projected at 122. You look at these price tags. You look at 11.2. You look at 9.4. You look at 6.4, 5.1. The rosters that we were just looking at don't come close to those salaries. And literally the Rockets would have to score 140, 150 points. Not saying that can't happen, but it's unlikely for them to score that many points and for any of these players to make sense. I mean, even if those points do happen, you can't guarantee that any of these price tags would make sense. Like you'd have to have, James Harden drop 70 DK points, and even then, it's like you're probably getting more value out of somebody like Lou Will from the Clippers game. I mean, even if he gets to 40, that's better point per dollar value than Harden hitting 70. So that's our point. You have to look at these salaries across the board. 6.5, 6.2, 4.9, way lower. If the Clippers score over 111 points, I mean, you're looking at a GPP takedown right there, easily.
Yeah. Trying to think of who else GPP wise. I don't really know what you talked about when I cut out.
I was just talking about Utah. We can look at a sheet real quick. IT obviously pops, and he's playing at 26 minutes. Yeah, 5.
IT's a boss, man.
5.3. I'm gonna look at Washington real quick. Yeah, I mean, they're projected at 110 against Indiana. Obviously, they don't have Miles Turner down low, so defensively, not so great. IT's always a good play for GPP just because of his low minutes. 5.3, he's been extremely efficient. If you look here at our sheet, he was averaging 1.41 fantasy points. Of course, that's an 88-minute sample size, so take that with a grain of salt. Who's Dante, by the way? You put at 3.6 on our sheet. Who's that?
Who?
Dante.
Who you say?
3.6. 3,600 on our sheet.
Yeah, what team?
I don't know.
Wait, what?
It says Dante. Was that a typo? 69 minutes or 61 minutes? There at the top, 6.9.
I can't read your. Oh, DiVincenzo maybe? I don't know. Yeah, it's probably Dante DiVincenzo. Holy shit, I can't say his last name.
For the Milwaukee?
Yeah, I probably just spewed it in wrong.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get made fun of.
That's why. What team? I forget you filter by value.
Yes, what about Tobias Harris? I would take individual stabs at these players. Obviously with the 76ers, if they don't go berserk offensively, one of these players is going to do well. 6.6, I probably wouldn't touch him at 6.6. Do you agree with that?
Philly, yeah.
6.6.
I think Ben plays better with Embiid, so I wouldn't mind like an Embiid, Simmons, Richardson, Al, and then come back with Donovan Mitchell, and then get value elsewhere. Tobias, not with Embiid healthy too. I think with Embiid healthy, I think it kind of helps. Because Simmons has struggled the last 2 games with Embiid out.
Yeah.
I just think it puts more pressure on him, and I don't know if he's mentally ready to handle that type of leadership role. That I guess he'd put. I mean, they have Al now, obviously, which is nice for them, like the veteran presence, but. With Embiid off, it's kind of like Ben Simmons is the guy. I don't think he's necessarily ready for that. So I think when Embiid's there, it kind of opens up things for Simmons. So, I mean, Simmons could be a sneaky good play tonight because he's pretty cheap.
7.7, yeah.
Yeah, Simmons is 7.7?
Yep.
That's pretty fucking wild.
Yep.
I would definitely take a shot in the dark with Simmons. One other guy I want to touch on for Detroit is Christian Wood, 3.6K. He is so good at basketball, and when he gets the minutes, he actually produces very well. He had a game earlier in the season against Indiana where he actually played 21 minutes. He had 39 DK points. That's a freakishly good night. But last game against Washington, he had 21 minutes at 3.3, 26 fantasy points. He currently is projected at 16 minutes against the Knicks. I know the 16 minutes is a rough number. You never want to put somebody in your lineup that's projected 16 minutes like we did last night with Bruno Fernando, who played 3 minutes in the first half because of a matchup issue with Aldridge, and it was just like, what the fuck, man.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I like Christian Wood maybe as a sneaky play tonight against the Knicks. I don't think the Knicks front court is very good. I mean, Mitchell Robinson, sure, Julius Randle, whatever, but I don't think they defend well. So
no,
Mitchell Robinson
scary.
does block-wise, but I mean, with Drummond, and then you got Christian Wood coming off the bench, and if Randle's in, then I guess they match up, but they probably won't be on at the same time. So I do like Christian Wood tonight as a random play.
I think GPP-wise, I'm looking at the clock too. We're gonna need to make our lineup here. We're gonna go ahead and get off the stream and go ahead and make our lineup, guys. If you aren't with us, $2.50 to sign up today. We could win you hundreds of dollars, hopefully thousands tonight. We're definitely gonna be, looking out for our DMs. If you guys have any questions, feel free. GPP plays, like I said, to recap, Clippers and Utah. Those are gonna be our favorite stacks. I'm going all in on the Clippers tonight in one of my GPPs. We went over our core plays. We can give you all the puzzle pieces, but we don't actually help you finish the puzzle. We do that, obviously, with our members. So if you guys are interested in doing that, go ahead and sign up today. TJ, any closing remarks?
Yeah, guys. 12 and 15 to start the year with one partial cash. One lineup we had with the loser was when Trae Young got hurt. We've been off to a really good start. Our showdown lineups have been absolutely amazing, and that's all the credit in the world to Matt. He's been absolutely crushing those things. So we're still a very cheap provider. I mean, you pay $2.50 to get a double-up lineup, and I mean, I personally made, I think it was like $2.50 last night off our double-up lineup. Showdowns was, I made $4.50 off the last showdown lineup. That's $5 a pop. So that can pay for the whole season right there. So take advantage while you can, and yeah, let's keep. Darius Geis activated. Nice. Sorry, my ADD. Yeah, just take advantage and come win some monies.
Yeah. Also, guys, look up for a giveaway. We're going to be doing that at the end of the week, Friday. Tomorrow, I'll be posting. Yeah, we're going to be doing some more information on that tomorrow. To get entered into that giveaway, we're going to be doing.
Oh my God.
What's up?
Fucking Jakar Sampson is starting again.
Well, guess what, guys? To figure out more information on that, you'll have to become a member. So to find out if we're actually interested in that. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get off now and create our lineup. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for those who are sticking all the way through, even through the technical difficulties, guys. Have a good night, and let's